welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick with the City of Hampton, and today we're going to talk about a foundation and an event that you can participate and have a lot of fun in. My guests are Bill and Nancy Beach. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, I make fun of the name H.E.F because I'm not quite sure what it is, but it is Hampton Education Foundation. What is that?
So the Hampton Education Foundation is the nonprofit that is here and has been in existence since 2001 to support Hampton City Schools. So things that weren't in the budget. What was created at the time in 2001 was to support computers. There was a need to really drive more innovative technology into the school division, and that's where it started, and that was Dr. Alan Davis. And so it's over time evolved, and with different pieces of the need changing as funding became available for computers or other things, they started to find other areas. And we have several things that we work on annually. It's an all-volunteer board, and I am a paid executive director, but I am part of leading that group. Along with several community leaders, former employees of Hampton City Schools on our board, as well as business leaders in the community.
So give some examples of what some of the money gets spent on or how much you've raised.
Sure. We've had a really great year, first of all. 2022-23, our fiscal year, was extremely interesting. It was my first year, but we had our first H.E.F Fest, which we'll come back to in a minute, about the second annual. And then we had some wonderful opportunities to put some sustainable gifts in place, meaning things that will give the foundation operating support for years to come. So annually we worked on things that were going to put money back into teachers. So teacher grant programming, that's one of our first missions, is to provide teachers with resources beyond the classroom, things that they don't have the budget for either, and we don't want them going in their pocket. So we have a grant program. They apply, they write their ideas, and then the committee meets. They've just met this year recently, and they'll be awarding those and recognizing our teachers for their innovative and creative ideas for the classroom and for our students. So we have 3 levels of grants. We have a mini grant covering everything in the classroom that you might need. $500 gets you something you didn't have when you began. It's great for new teachers.
Yeah, I bet.
Fill in
Because
the
teachers accumulate
classroom.
things over the years.
Many have storage sites that they probably keep things in off in the summers.
Yeah.
But well, we certainly want to help them do that and not have to go in their own pocket. And they come up with great ideas, and so we're able to do that grant. And then the second grant is an individual who comes up with a program grant that's something that they want to do that they also don't have the current budget for, and that's $1,000. After a few years of seeing 2 teachers or 3 teachers applying that sort of had the same theme, we said they want to go in as a group. So we started last year the group grant of $2,500. So that gives a team, possibly grade level, to come together and work on something. There's some very interesting ones about teaching both history and literature and include food in it. So we know that Phoebus High School has the Phantom Cafe. And so we want to include ways that they're really having ideas that bring the kids and the education all together in an innovative way. So we've done that, and that's been very helpful. We'll just, at H.E.F Fest and coming up this week, we'll be announcing those grant winners, and it's $40,000 of grants going to over 70 teachers. So we're really engaging the community to see that if they are helping us fund these grants, the teachers are really doing something wonderful, and the students are the beneficiaries of it. So we love that about our mission. And then the second part of our mission is tied to student scholarship. So years ago, Mike Canty, someone that you may have known at the time, was working in many places around Hampton and in the education as well as in the city. And after he passed, the group of Mike's friends got together and put some funds aside, and we've actually been the recipient of those funds to continue a scholarship in his name. We're able to do that for a student, or possibly up to 4 last year, for a scholarship gift of $1,000 for each student.
That's wonderful.
So we had that, and then we had a new gift. We had a gift from an alum of Phoebus High School who came to us and was very interested in honoring a middle school teacher of his. So he wanted to do something in her name. And she's still alive. She's retired, but she's someone he really felt at his time in middle school that was an important pivot in his life, that if he had not had her to redirect where he was headed, he might not have turned out okay.
That is wonderful. And that really illustrates what a difference teachers make. It's not, I mean, the education is phenomenally important, and I don't mean to suggest it's not, but our teachers become role models and support and all kinds of things that kids need. And that's hard to do. That's hard to do on a consistent basis, too.
To have that impact and take time to see each student. And I think that's what we don't realize happens on a daily basis still.
Yeah, and the money they put in, that they shouldn't have to put in, but they do.
So we want to make sure that those things happen, and he wanted to make sure that that was something he could recognize. And we're seeing that alumni of Hampton City Schools are grateful, and they are grateful donors now. So we're seeing some opportunities to talk to others about that kind of giving, and that's not something we've done before. So he's working to a Now Gift, so he gives both a teacher grant and a scholarship annually, and he's building an endowment to keep that funded in perpetuity. So
that's wonderful. This is really, you've grown, this organization has grown into what's going to be a powerhouse, I hope.
Well, there were two other big gifts. So as the endowment begins for that one scholarship, or that endowment fund for both a teacher grant and a scholarship, we had two other gifts. We had the school board of Hampton supported us with a new endowment, $160,000, to start a future teachers fund. So giving it to someone from Hampton City Schools who would then come back and teach in Hampton City Schools. So it's a way to connect them back. And we're finding out how mechanically to do that now, and we've got some time because it won't be awarded for another year, but there is now a corpus that we will build from and use annually to support that.
Now, explain to people who might not be familiar how an endowment works versus just a gift.
Outright giving. So we have 2 pots of money that we might work from in our own household, checking and savings. And as you do that, you're putting something aside in savings that you really don't want to touch until you have a project or something like that to do. And I look at it that way. We have annual gifts that support our operating needs annually. The other part of the endowment is something that is invested. It's there, and we only spend a very small portion of it, so that the remainder is always there, the principal. And that's not the one in the building. That's the one in the bank. So we actually try to make sure that that's growing, and over time we use just
income over time, right?
That can be used annually as well. That income is determined each year, and the committees meet about that, but we are able to put that into the budget as well.
That's wonderful.
So,
now, how does this guy over here fit in?
Well, I was going to ask, wait, we have a savings account? I missed that part.
Well, today I brought a very special guest with me who's going to help tell a little bit more about what's going on and how we do our annual fundraiser, H.E.F Fest, that you brought up.
Fest. I'm going to call it Education Fest. Or no, that didn't sound right either. No wonder you went to H.E.F. It's a tough acronym.
It's the whole foundation name. You could call it the Ed Foundation, and that's easy, but it's Hampton.
Right.
So we want to make sure you know it's here, local, and that it's fests for fun.
Now, this last year was your first year, wasn't it? How did that go?
It was unknown how well it was going to turn out, but we were very blessed with many wonderful things that happened. We had great sponsors. We had a great venue at Vanguard in downtown Hampton. We had a great music set, and it turned out that really helped us shape what this should look like annually.
Okay. So it is coming up, right?
It is November 4th.
Okay.
Saturday night, November 4th.
And what's it like for those who didn't come last year?
Well, last year was, there were 3 bands that played. Chris Abrasino, who really co-produces the music side of the event with me. His band is a local band. They opened, and then I have a band in Chicago. We were the second act. And then the third act was a kind of a combination, if you will, of all the players.
And a few
we had a few local celebrities.
And
they are returning, plus a few more. So after the first H.E.F Fest, Chris and I got together and we said, what did we like about it, and what could we do to alter or improve it? And we looked at, videos of the audience, and it didn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that when we played a certain genre of music, which is primarily rhythm and blues and soul and funk, the audience really responded. So what we've done is we've revamped the whole set list, if you will, the song list. So it's all rhythm and blues. We play music by Curtis Mayfield, Average White Band, the Commodores, Sam and Dave, Aretha Franklin,
And
Wilson
we can dance,
Pickett.
right?
Yes, you can dance. You can really let loose and have a great time. And so when we did that, we realized that we needed to have two key elements musically on stage with us. And last year we had a great horn section, but due to some scheduling conflicts, we couldn't get all of the same guys back. So we picked up two additional horn players, and we have a horn section that is composed of three members of the U.S. Army Band. And these guys are so precision-driven.
Amazing.
They're amazing. And the bands that they have worked with in the past include the OJs, Stevie Wonder, the Four Tops, the Temptations, the Shy Lights, and they're just a phenomenal, tight horn section.
So you're even going to have backup singers
We
this
are.
year.
We have four phenomenal backup singers. One is a person I believe you know, Sandy Diana,
Yes.
who is kind of in charge of not only the singers but doing the dance steps that
The
they'll
moves.
have, the moves.
That's what I want.
We have a gal by the name of Clarice Frazier, who is with Peak Childhood Center, and she's a phenomenal singer. We call her Aretha Franklin.
Oh, wow.
And we have Lisa Riggs, who is a great singer. She performs every Sunday with St. John's Church in Hampton. And a surprise singer this year is Tina Banks Gray, who is involved with the school board. Yeah, and she is a dynamo. So
is a dynamo.
we have four backup singers.
sure.
We have a great horn section, and the nucleus of the band is the same. So it'll be great.
And they all have ties to education. I mean, Sandy has been a fixture at Armstrong Elementary for as long as I've known. Tina, of course, school board.
Right.
That's wonderful, all those ties. But it's also people from the community who want to support education, want to support our teachers.
Right. We have about 70% of our band has ties, direct ties, to Hampton City schools in Hampton City. But you're right, the entire community comes out to support us.
So you are a member of a band,
Yes.
but this is much broader. I mean, you and Chris put together a broad array of musicians and
Right.
hope that everything will go well. No, I'm sure you practice.
We do. Our neighbors complain regularly because we rehearse at our home on Sunday evenings. But it's,
I bet they sit outside and enjoy it. I'm
Some
going
of
to
them
come
do.
by.
Some
I'm
of
going to
them.
come by with a chair.
you could. Always welcome.
We'd rather you buy a ticket, though.
Or both. So this is going to be a ton of fun, right? We can even forget that this is a benefit and just go
Could.
because it's a phenomenal local band
It
playing at the Vanguard.
Right.
And it's always fun to see Donnie Tuck, Mayor Tuck, and Vice Mayor Gray
Yeah.
on stage playing guitars. Those two gentlemen are phenomenal musicians. They make it
enjoy
fun
it.
for
That
us.
surprised me. I had no idea.
It's a lot of fun.
They enjoy it, and I think they really see this as one community, so it's an opportunity to be together and everyone can come out.
Yeah.
That we try to make the tickets very affordable. It's
Well, that's what I was going to say. I'm thinking you're not charging enough.
Well, our intent is really to bring the community together. We think Hampton is doing a great job, a phenomenal job, becoming a model leader in education for public schools.
Nationally known.
It really is, and you know this, you've covered it in many different ways, and I think that our community needs to catch up with that story. So we want to make sure that people keep hearing it from lots of different avenues, and this is one of those ways you can come out and have fun. You can see our teachers. We're actually going to recognize this year's teacher grant winners during the evening. We have people who are working very hard, and they have great energy that they're putting forward to the future of our community.
But tell us how inexpensive, what a good deal this is.
Right, the good deal. So for $5, you can come into the Vanguard and see the Blue Bear All-Star Band.
Blue bear, man-eating bear and blue.
Yeah,
ribbon. What's Chris's?
Chris's band is Blue Ribbon Band.
Yeah.
And my band was Man Fighting Bear. So we just thought we'd.
And the All-Stars are the ones that are coming in from the community to
Perfect.
really be part of it.
So $5, you're not going to earn very much. Can't I pay more?
Yes. So
Always.
this year we have extra credit. We have an extra credit ticket. So this year you can buy an extra credit ticket for $100, but with that you get to go upstairs at the Vanguard for a buffet dinner, drink tickets, and some time to visit and mingle with the band ahead of time. It's sort of your VIP access.
Yeah.
So we're offering that, and our sponsors are also going to be part of that group. So all of our sponsors have come in, and I just want to highlight some of those. We have wonderful, wonderful partners in this. We have Bayport Credit Union. We have the Hampton Roads Educators Credit Union. We have other groups that are just so involved and committed to making sure that we have a great turnout, but they're also helping us fund these grants. So if we're going to award $40,000, we've got to make sure we have it in the bank.
That's right. That's
So
right.
that's why the fundraiser is important, but the sponsors really help us do that, those extra credit tickets. And even with everyone's $5, we do have a little bit that goes into the final total from that.
Yeah,
So-
that's great.
but it's more important to have you there.
Okay. Well, I need to come then, don't I?
Should.
Thank you both for coming today. I know takes a lot of time out of your schedule, and I really do appreciate it because this, I mean, I could bill this not as a fundraiser, but just as a great concert. But it is for a good cause. So what makes for a better Saturday night than that?
Can't think of any.
That's right.
That's right.
Well, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Robin.
Thanks, Robin.
And I hope to see a lot of members at the community at the Vanguard for this. You know, if you can't come, you could just buy a ticket anyway, just to make a little donation. But please do come. It's going to be a great night. Thanks for watching.